Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I got this one for you straight out of St. Louis, Missouri, where this past superintendent from Seattle that the St. Louis School Board brought in after Dr. Kelvin Adams had retired. He had been here for over 20 years, came in from Philadelphia, trying to restore the moral and ethical fabric and intellectual fabric of our St. Louis public schools. Once he retired, they brought in another young lady, and she only was here for about a year. She brought in about 10 people from Seattle and the surrounding country to be a part of her leadership. And the spending got out of control. And you have got to hear this story. This is a telltale and cautionary sign of how our teachers, our administrators, even some of our school boards who are supposed to be the overseer of our schools have failed these children. As you all know, nationally in many of these urban inner city public schools, kids are reading and their math scores are 2 to 4 grade levels behind. Part of the sustainability of a society is to have a strong school system for our future leaders. And we're seeing where our administrators are failing them. They're not concerned about their academic, intellectual, physical, and emotional capability and standard being high. But this particular superintendent, who was here again, was only in St. Louis for 1 year, evidently or allegedly used the budget and these credit cards as her own piggy bank. And there might even be criminal charges as a result of this. Yes, after 1 year, they forced her out. The school board has been under a lot of duress as a result of this hire. They have a new interim school superintendent now, and we're going to see where this goes. But you have got to see, everybody's wondering, why are our schools failing? Many of our schools have more permanent subs than certified full-time teachers in many of our urban schools. And of course, you know, we have a scenario of heavy gun violence in the cities, fatherless homes, helplessness and hopelessness, and we need to have some kind of restoration to having a stable school system for our public schools. And of course, we know the majority of students throughout our country attend public schools. So let's get into this one about what happened with the leaders at SLPS, St. Louis Public School, suspend all district credit cards. Please listen to this story. This lady allegedly spent almost $2 million on credit cards for all kind of personal, pugnacious, arrogant expenses that had nothing to do with academia. So let's go. Staffers spend $1.6 million in Scarlett'S 1-year tenure. Leaders at St. Louis Public Schools have suspended all district-issued credit cards after staffers spent $1.6 million during the 1-year tenure of ex-superintendent Keisha Scarlett. 1 year, they spent $1.6 million. Wait till you find out what they spent it on. The bulk of the charges on 21 credit cards went to travel, food, and entertainment expenses, and were not related to academics or operations, according to U.S. bank statements from July 2023 to July 2024, 1 year, obtained Thursday by the Post-Dispatch through records request. The statements reveal spending on airline upgrades, luxury hotels, and restaurants from Hawaii to Georgia. It's all over the country. There are indications of multiple violations of the district's travel policy, including airline tickets for family members of staff who don't even work in the St. Louis public school system. There were charges to adult establishments, including Hooters in Columbia, Missouri, for $700, Up Bar in St. Louis for $700, and Dick's Last Resort in Dallas for $540. An investigative report on the spending practices under Scarlett, released Tuesday, covered $260,500 in charges on just 4 of the credit cards issued by the district to the former superintendent and 3 other staffers who reported to her. All these people got credit cards. The additional cards were assigned to 7 SLPS departments plus staff members. So an additional 7 credit cards to staff members Stephanie Terry, interim deputy chief of finance, Victoria Glaspie, former finance director, Cheryl Van Noy, former chief information and accountability officer, Nichelle Hunter, financial management director, and Shamika Henry, secretary to the school board. Even the secretary to the school board had a credit card. 5 of the cards were designated as travel. Matt Davis, vice president of the school board, said the district had 3 credit cards prior to Scarlett's arrival in July 2023. They only had 3. And he was not aware that additional cards had been issued. So they had 3 and it went to 21. Where is the oversight for the school board? All 21 credit cards are suspended until new oversight protections can be put in place following the recommendations of the report from the Armanino accounting firm. The only clear-cut spending on students shown in the statements is about $23,000 for 17 Vashon High School basketball players, coaches, and chaperones to travel to Hawaii in December 2023 for a basketball tournament approved by the school board. Even that one that was approved by the school board has nothing to do with academics. This was taking the varsity basketball team on a trip to Hawaii, which is probably one of the last things we should be doing while we're promoting to young black kids, young black males and females, especially males, that their way out of the ghetto is to become an athlete or a professional athlete or entertainer. The percentages of that happening are almost 0. What about becoming a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a principal, a police officer? So even that approval of $23,000 was not spent on books, pencils, upgrades in the academia, the library of the school. It was spent on a tournament for the basketball team. Other expenditures in the statement include 3 visits to Top Golf in St. Louis for $6,740, hotel rooms costing $12,000 over 2 weeks in March and April at the Stony Creek Inn in Columbia, Margaritaville in Osage Beach, and a Holiday Inn in South Carolina. $12,000 in 2 weeks. Thousands of dollars on plane tickets for family members of current and former staff, including Henry, Nikki Lemons, and Zaretha Salim, along with the wife of board member Terry Hikes, who made trips to Oakland, San Diego, and Dallas. Wow, some of these people don't even work for the school district. The Reverend Charles Norris, pastor of St. James AME Church in St. Louis, received a $700 plane ticket to attend the Kingmakers of Oakland's Black Love is Liberation conference with several SLPS representatives. What does that have to do with academics? Black Love is Liberation. Scarlett is quoted on the organization's website saying, "It's not a radical idea for us to focus on African American males and center them. It's not an intent to alienate anyone or acknowledge their needs, or not acknowledge their needs." Here's another one, a charge of $16,532 went to Marcus Theaters, charges of $5,000 at restaurants in Houston over 5 days in April, 3 visits in July to Bubba Gump, and other restaurants in Las Vegas for $700. Glaspie and Terry each charged more than $1,000 to the Point Hilton in Phoenix and $5,000 for separate stays at the Gaylord National Resort in Maryland. They are flying all over the country, spending all this money. When are they here to take care of the largest public school district in St. Louis? One of the credit cards labeled travel included $3,272 in charges in 1 month to the Richmond Heights Schnooks, the Walmart.com, and a Dollar Tree in Collinsville. That's in Illinois. After arriving at SLPS in July 2023, Superintendent Scarlett racked up more than $88,500 in questionable charges on food, gifts, personal care, and travel on her designated credit card, according to the report from Armanino, accounting firm Armanino. Scarlett was placed on leave 1 year after starting the job and fired in September. A comprehensive audit of the SLPS, St. Louis Public Schools, initiated by Missouri Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick in August, is expected to take another year to complete. That's right here in St. Louis, Missouri. They went from a surplus of over $1 million to now a deficit of nearly $20 million in 1 year. Sounds like Superintendent Scarlett was using the budget for the St. Louis public school system as her own piggy bank. And there may be some indications that she may have faltered into the line of criminality. There may be some charges coming after this. How is the St. Louis Public School Board vetting potential superintendents? Now, we know we had that Dr. Kelvin Adams for over 20 years, and it appeared that he did a pretty good job. But I don't know if this was a rush to judgment on them selecting this young lady, Dr. Scarlett, Keisha Scarlett, or what is going on. But they made a very valuable and invaluable huge mistake. There is almost $2 million of questionable credit card use at all kinds of places. And in 1 year, they went from Georgia to Hawaii to Maryland to Columbia. I mean, when did they have time to administrate the St. Louis public school system, which is the largest school system in St. Louis? They've been flying all over the place all year, including family members. We have got to do better as leaders and professionals in trying to mentor and navigate and mold these minds of our future. This is an embarrassment. As I said, they went from a surplus to a deficit. Yes, they got Dr. Scarlett, Keisha Scarlett out, and hopefully it's going to take a year to get some kind of financial restoration and health, or at least find out what's going on. But they may be some criminal charges with this Dr. Keisha Scarlett. Tell me what you think of this egregious and rambunctious behavior that took place with this St. Louis school superintendent, black female, where I think she has failed herself and her family, the St. Louis public school system, and definitely the St. Louis public school system students.